It's been said that clothes make the man. In the fictional world of movies, where the stage is larger than life, it's the costume makers who delicately adorn each character. With every stroke of creative ideas and detailed touches of real-life authenticity, Bollywood Dresswallas are one of the most important artists and craftsmen in the industry. At the mere mention of Bollywood, India's world-renowned film industry, it's easy to imagine the myriad of dancing colors that surround every musical sequence. Superstars sparkle in the grandest shades of glamour. Just as our flesh covers our bones and our clothes cover our skin, costumes complete the final layers of the film's characters, giving life to the director's vision.
Hindi movies, it's all about dancing and songs and costumes, and Indian culture and heritage is like that. It's colorful, it's jewelry, it's ghagras, and you know, it's so beautiful. I mean, I don't think a Devdas or you know, Dil De Chuke Sanam, Sanjay Leela Bhansali would ever be made if there were no costumes. There'd be no color in that film. So I think Indian films are all about color and you know, and grandeur and everything all combined.
In the heart of Mumbai, the long-standing factory of costumers, Maganlal Dresswalla has done it all and seen it all in the world of Bollywood. From the silent film era to the modern 3D age, this family business has evolved along with Bollywood through almost 8 decades, growing from a house that made turbans to a company that dresses international blockbusters.
Mainly we are dealing with historical mythological. दो में हम लोग main pioneer हैं, तो उसमें more than 200 films हम लोग ने की.
Their first breakthrough was the legendary period film Mughal-e-Azam, the epic movie that catapulted director K. Asif to fame. The movie was based on Mughal Emperor Akbar's court dancer, Anarkali. Suresh Bhai has been well trained by his father, who pioneered not only the company, but also costume design in Indian cinema. They pride themselves on delivering the most authentic costumes, aiming for realism when depicting a time period that the audience has never experienced.
मुगल-ए-आज़म में पृथ्वीराज साहब जो थे पापा जी, उन्होंने जो जरा बख्तर पहना था पूरा आर्मर सूट, जो वॉर के टाइम सलीम जो उसका बेटा था, यूसुफ साहब, दिलीप कुमार, तो उस जमाने वो सबके अपने कॉस्ट्यूम थे, तो उसने लोहे का बख्तर इस्तेमाल होता था, जाली जो लोहे की थी, आयरन मेटल, तो दैट वाज वेरी हेवी, बहुत हेवी था वो, तो इसलिए पृथ्वीराज लगभग आई थिंक 25 kg अबाउट का होगा वो, इतना वेट था, तो इसलिए वो पृथ्वीराज साहब जो थे, अकबर जो बने हुए थे, वो थोड़ा बेंड होके चलते थे, because of this.
Suresh Bhai is passing on the business to his daughter, Sarika, a university graduate who also studied fashion designing. She's been trained under her father's wings and is now handling a mega upcoming project all by herself.
I love colors, I love creativity, and I think I'm just being blessed that I'm born at, you know, at the right place. Because it's given me such a, you know, beautiful background to really expose myself to a lot of different things.
Her big project is a film by Vikram Bhatt called Dangerous Ishq. It's a much anticipated period film planned as a comeback movie for yesteryear star Karishma Kapoor. A lot is riding on the success of this project.
the knowledge, the experience of my dad and granddad all helped me a lot to give in authentic stuff, you know, because period films demands that. You know, I mean, Western clothes or regular costumes, you can, you know, change and you can play around with. But period, we need to maintain that authenticity. And that comes only and only with experience, not in schools.
Sarika supervises the designing and the making of costumes, accessories and props. This time, she is no longer guided by her father's leadership. She is now her own boss.
I have a whole team of people working on a particular project at a particular point of time, like right from metal karigars to leather karigars to cobblers to, you know, embroidery people to tailors. So it's like a whole team working on one particular project, and the number of people also, you know, may vary from 50 to 100 to 200 depending on the quantity of costumes that are being made.
Her upcoming film project is a project of epic proportions. They have to produce 600 costumes in 6 days. But that doesn't faze her.
I think what I've really learned from my dad and my granddad, I think it's come down from my granddad to my dad and then to me, is whenever you get an order, you first say yes and then you think how you're going to go about it. You never say no, no matter what.
Sarika wastes no time in getting the ball rolling on her new project. She meets the costume designer to discuss their research, one of the most crucial aspects of her work. Proper research is just half the work.
I had about 600 odd people to dress up in one frame, and that too all historical costumes. So I couldn't have thought of, you know, going to anybody else for this, because A, they have the kind of expertise they've had for so many years, and I know that they completely understand. This is also good. And, yeah.
With a highly stressful deadline and a colossal task ahead, the right fit begins with a good working relationship between Sarika and the various people she works with as they brainstorm and agree on design ideas.
Sarika and I are completely on the same wavelength as long as my look is concerned. So I know that nothing in my look is going to be compromised upon.
After their ideas have been buttoned down, the pressure is on for Sarika to make her workers have the costumes well stitched and done in time.
This is also good.
Sarika is going full steam ahead on her film project. The young Dresswalla has learnt the ropes from her father and grandfather and is now taking on the responsibility of being the next in line to take over the family business. She is proving her grit by accepting the near impossible job of producing costumes and props for 600 people in just 6 days. As a Dresswalla, she's in charge of making sure that the film actors on the movie set will be ready for the shoot as scheduled. Whether it involves one talent or a few hundred, the final look of the characters in the film is mostly in her hands.
The most important thing is I cannot go wrong on the research that I do, because it's depicting a particular era, and if you go wrong on that, it's like, you know, a complete a wrong projection of the period.
Since so much is at stake, an eye for detail is critical. Sarika gets involved with every aspect of costume making, from sourcing the fabrics and material, right down to crafting the accessories and jewelry. It's a tough business all round, not just the scale of it, but in the Bollywood costume industry, Maganlal Dresswalla is just one of the many competing for the biggest piece of the pie. Being a young Dresswalla in an established brand doesn't mean that Sarika can rest on her laurels. She works even harder now because of stiff competition.
I think I take it very healthily, because I look at competition as something which challenges me to do even better work, and I coordinate with designers, and if there are no designers, I directly deal with producer directors at times. So it's really challenging. The timelines are very high, like the standards are very high, the expectation is very high.
Maganlal Dresswalla also replicates some of their famous custom-made Bollywood costumes and sells them to the public. Being a creative contributor to the Bollywood industry means that Dresswallas like Sarika are also trendsetters. The highly influential Bollywood culture rapidly permeates the lives of the masses through fashion.
That's why we have these look-alike costumes that we make in our store, where we give out to theme parties, even to corporate bank people, even to that extent, want to have these on and off theme parties where they want to dress up like Amitabh and they want to dress up like Aishwarya. So I think that is also one of the reasons why the costume making for the actors is such a big deal. Because at the end of it, they know they are going to be setting a trend. In every movie, even if it's a period film, they're bringing back some trend along with that, Even for example, Jodha Akbar, if she's just worn a plain lehenga choli, people in marriages want to follow that embroidery, want to follow that style, So everybody looks up to the stars here. So maybe that is the reason, I guess.
The masses may look up to Bollywood superstars for fashion ideas, but where do Dresswallas, who dress up Bollywood, find their inspiration?
We can take a contrasting, maybe a gold tissue in this. It has to go till here, entirely carved, and it has to come up right till here.
Sarika, though a young costumer, has been appointed to be the next heir of the Maganlal family business. The family's long list of accomplishments gives Sarika both pressure and comfort, while envisioning an even bigger future for herself within the industry. She looks to her father's best projects for ideas, motivation, and lessons. One of the biggest tasks undertaken by Suresh Bhai and his team was Bharat Ek Khoj, or Discovery of India, a popular TV series done in the late 80s. In 53 episodes, it told the history of India from the Indus Valley civilization right up to the British Empire. It was one of the most challenging period dramas that Maganlal Dresswalla ever executed. Suresh Bhai's work ethic that emphasizes punctuality is part of the reason for their success.
हमें वो बना के परफेक्ट करके इन टाइम पे देना पड़ता है. ये जो डिफिकल्ट जॉब है, वो डिफिकल्ट हो या नहीं हो, इम्पॉसिबल हो या नहीं हो, मगर हमें टाइम पे पॉसिबल करके एकदम बराबर करके देना पड़ता है कॉस्ट्यूम्स. या चाहे वो वेपनरी आइटम हो, या आर्मर सूट हो, मेटल का हो, या एल्यूमिनियम का हो, या लेदर का हो, या कॉस्ट्यूम्स क्लॉथ का, फैब्रिक का हो, एम्ब्रॉयडरी हो, का मशीन का काम हो, हैंड एम्ब्रॉयडरी हो, कुछ भी हो. मगर जो जिस तरह का कैरेक्टर होता है, जिस तरह से वो होता है, उस तरह से हमें टाइम पे देना पड़ता है. जैसे मैंने अभी बोला था, डिस्कवर इंडिया में भी ऐसा ही हुआ था कि शाम को 6 बजे समाज यदि टाइम पे समझो आके बताती है कि कल अभी ये शॉट है, तो वो शॉट में हमें ओवरनाइट करके भी मेरे कारीगर सब, क्योंकि उस टाइम मेरे पास 100 कारीगर हम लोग के पास थे. मोर देन 100 वर्कर्स वर देयर.
Such efficiency is needed by the rigorous demands of the Bollywood film industry. And being able to meet these demands sets Maganlal Dresswalla apart from the rest, attracting big-name directors like Shyam Benegal.
There were characters playing, actors playing different characters. We had over 500 actors in the whole series. We had 144 sets that we had built. So naturally you can imagine how many costumes we may have generated.
Sarika is proud of her family's legacy and what her father and grandfather have achieved. It's not just their resilience that inspires her. Her forefathers have left behind a great body of work that ultimately helps to ease her workload. Sarika discovered a pleasant surprise after meeting the designer for her current project.
I realized that the research that she had done, her bit that was coming from, a part of it was also the sourcing was done from my granddad's earlier movies, you know, so that was quite an inspiration, and I was quite thrilled about the thing that, you know, at a time when they go down to doing research, it comes down back to my family, you know, history. So that was really a wonderful thing that I observed.
Such connections to the past give Sarika the drive to follow their footsteps and emulate their greatness. She is on her way to becoming part of history herself, having been involved in several hit projects. Among them is the Academy Award-nominated Lagan, starring Amir Khan, set during colonial times. Another was Jodha Akbar, an epic romance starring some of the biggest names in Bollywood, Hrithik Roshan and Aishwarya Rai.
ही पड़ा आपने हमारा दिल जो जीत लिया.
I'm right here at the Nitin Desai studio, and this is the Jodha Akbar set where the whole film was shot, where there were thousands and thousands of crowd and the dancers and singers, the artists, Hrithik Roshan, Aishwarya Rai, everybody had shot at this very place here. In this film particularly, I had made lots of costumes, from the main artists' turbans to the soldiers to the crowd and singers, and it was a beautiful experience. More than hundreds and hundreds of craftsmen had worked for a period of more than 6 months on this particular project here. Yeah.
Costume businesses like Maganlal Dresswalla cannot do what they do without the multitude of workers who work with them. Here at ND Studios, Sarika collaborates with the renowned art director Nitin Desai to create some of the most detailed period costumes and set design projects for Bollywood and around the world.
It is a responsibility on a filmmaker or a designer. When audience is going to watch the movie, they are going to see the minutely how you are created the things and how you are transforming the people into that era.
From set designers to tailors and cobblers, these are the real heroes who help bring to life the fictional heroes across different periods, countries and continents. Many remain loyal to the Maganlal family business, despite the expansion of the film industry.
હું 60 વર્ષથી મગનલાલ ડ્રેસવાલાની દુકાનમાં કામ કરું છું અને મને પિક્ચરો બાબતના અનુભવ વિશાળ થઈ ગયા. શેઠસી હરિભાઈના સાનિધ્યની અંદર જેટલા બી પ્રલોભન આવે છે છતાંય અમે માણસો સ્વીકારતા નથી, કારણ કે આ અમારા 3 પેઢીના પિતાજીની દુકાન છે.
There is much pride and prestige with the Maganlal brand. Those who have stood by the family business since its humble beginnings have high hopes for its future.
એટલે વિશ્વમાં અમારું તો નામ છે, પણ દિન પ્રતિદિન અમે આગળ વધતા જઈએ છીએ અને અમે આગળ વધતા રહીએ એવી અમે પ્રભુની પાસે પ્રાર્થના કરીએ.
As the world celebrates the Bollywood wave, the door is opened for Indian dresswallas